I'm going to be talking today on behalf of AIN, Arab Innovation Network. It's an organization that started in 2010, I believe. I joined in 2012. I serve on the board. Their job is to facilitate innovation. If somebody has an idea, he has to have that passion behind it, and the passion is continuous until it develops, until it commercializes, and until it becomes a fact. This is an organization that started in Cambridge, at Cambridge University in the UK, and it was really mostly Arab youngsters who devoted their time, and it's a non-profit organization in the true sense of the word. What I'm going to be talking about today is innovation, and this is the subject matter I discuss. We happen to believe that the answer to our dilemmas is, as per my presentation, and I'm a neurologist, I'm not in the business of AIN. I do my own situation as a neurologist. I teach neurology, I practice it, and I think I'm sometimes an innovator in that field as well. So I have nothing to declare, neither does AIN, because there's no ulterior motive, there's no profits. The answer then to our dilemma is innovation. The question is not to innovate or not, we just have to do this. And the vanity and the problem is that we have very few innovators in the Arab world. When this organization first started, I served on the board as well, and one of the competitors was a young woman who started an application which was for antenatal care for pregnant women. She was only 19 years old, she is from the Emirates, and she was in the first year of college. And the mother came to talk to me يعني أعملها وصلة بنتها بس قلت لها what she's doing is great, and really it is now an application already done. Another guy who, another story, a success story, is a guy called Ramzi Jamil. He's an AUB student. He was the first president of the AUB AIN chapter, and he is now working on a significant application that may come through soon. I, for one, am working on trying to provide medical care for free in our region first, and then maybe internationally. We're working on this as well. It may come true. If it does, it's a tremendous subject. So, how do we address, what do we address in our innovation issues? What is necessary for us? Our dilemmas are as follows. One, corruption. Is corruption a disease? Humanity could control smallpox, jittery, could control poliomyelitis. In a small country like Lebanon, we're unable to control corruption. Can we innovate to do that? Next item. Next is financial economic hardship. People are poor, and I will explain how poor they are in the following slide. Next item, please. No innovation at all. What the hell is going on? Rita mentioned many innovators all over the world. We can name very few Lebanese who were innovators, as a matter of fact. They were very successful in business, literature, art, philosophy, PR, power, and so forth, but very few innovations came out of us. And finally, we have produced a culture of violence all over. We were one of the leaders in the culture of violence. It all started in Palestine, followed by Lebanon, Syria, whatever it is. So how do we innovate to overcome our culture of violence is another significant issue. Finally, mediocrity is an issue that we live through in our part of the world. Next. So if you look at the first item, which is STEM, this is the classical 4 words for innovation: science, technology, engineering, and math. Economics. If you are living in Beirut, your apartment is more expensive than it's in California. Your car is more expensive. Your watch is more expensive. Your education is probably the same, if not more expensive. What is the cheapest commodity in Lebanon? This guy, the individual, the human being. And if you take the math of it, I asked once a very senior judge in Lebanon, كان مدعي عام التمييز بلبنان, We evaluated a human being living up to 54 years of age to be worth about $100,000. لأنه بيدفعوا الحد الأدنى للأجور at the time كان $200 تضربها ب 12,450 يصير حوالي $100,000. We have a very vivid example of this. If somebody's interested, I'll tell them what the example is. I don't know much time. Next slide. Education. Is education necessary for innovation? كنا بنعرف Bill Gates بيع الجامعة. كنا بنعرف most other inventors بيعوا الجامعة. A lot of youngsters, is our educational system beneficial for us to innovate? Is it embedded in it a talent, a educational way for us to innovate? I doubt that. Now, healthcare is a major issue because in the United States now, Obamacare is prevalent. It raised the expense on healthcare from 7% to 17%, and it reduced defense expenditure from 8% down to 7%. 70% of the GDP means several trillions of dollars. It's the industry number one. Healthcare is not anymore the way we think of it. حرام بيت عبيد بالمستشفى حرام بفوتوا الحكيم أرد منه على قدي. It is different. It's an industry beyond our imagination. It's a necessary industry. Next. Then we have human sciences and social behavior. This young man, Rajab Ghazzawi, has a degree in computer sciences. He's accepted in the University of Chicago, Head School of Public Policy, to become a public policy major. So he shifts from computer sciences to become a public policy guy. I congratulate you. Nice guy. Super. Yeah. Good. I would like to say that Arab Innovation Network provides to you a platform. If you are going to innovate, they show you how the steps are done. They may give you $1,000 in scholarship. They will assist you with an entrepreneur who would finance your project, and so forth. Next. So where does the world stand now in terms of innovation? Read the statement, please. Neuroscience is the promise for the future of the world. This is my prophecy. I believe that the energy, money spent on neurosciences on the brain would change the world and transform it significantly. If you plastic surgery, that's very good business. In the near future, if not today, there is something called neuroplasticity, which means if you have attention deficit, we can improve it through electrical stimulation of the brain. We don't use medication anymore. If you have dementia, we can also do that. If you have pain, we can treat it with electrical stimulation. So the brain is being transformed slowly but gradually into the controlling mechanism. As a matter of fact, in April 18 to 20, there was a big conference in DC about neurosciences for leadership. How can you become a leader through the use of certain hormones, specifically oxytocin? A woman who's pregnant has oxytocin to deliver her baby. When she delivers, everybody loves her and become loyal to her. So they did this experiment where they gave some investment bankers oxytocin, and people started investing with them because they loved them and they became more loyal to them. So neurology and neuroscience will transform this world all over. Now, look at this image. This is the new imaging of the brain. This is the MRI. This is the future of MRI. It's not anymore a structure, but rather the circuitry of the brain and how it works all together. And this means that if we use ourselves, if we use our brain, it's not anymore a specific area of the brain, but the system altogether. We think in terms of systems, in terms of cooperation and group work. Next item, please. Next item. So without a brain, there is no innovation. And really, most innovations are no-brainer. Thank you for letting me. A no-brainer. I'm done. Thank you very much.